Are you totally confused about how to certify for your weekly unemployment benefits in Nebraska? Well, if you are absolutely not alone. Navigating government portals and legal requirements can feel, honestly, incredibly overwhelming, especially when your financial stability is literally on the line. But don't worry. By the end of this explainer, you are going to be an absolute expert in navigating the system like a pro. Look, mastering this weekly certification process isn't just about, checking a random box. It's the crucial difference between getting your financial assistance paid on time every single week and facing weeks of stressful, totally avoidable bureaucratic delays. This is your weekly legal check-in, and understanding how to do it flawlessly, that is your absolute best defense against payment disruptions. Okay, let's dive right into our roadmap for today so you know exactly what we're going to cover to protect your payment. We'll go over understanding your eligibility, the weekly certification process, maintaining your benefits, common issues and solutions, and finally, FAQs and additional help. Section 1. Understanding your eligibility. Let's get right into it. First up, let's clarify the baseline rules for getting and keeping your unemployment assistance in Nebraska. To qualify initially, you must have lost your job through no fault of your own, like a layoff or a company closure. But here's the kicker. To stay eligible and actually keep getting those checks, you got to be physically able to work, available to accept a job, and actively looking for work every single week. Basically, if you decide to take a week off from the job hunt, you don't get paid for that week. It really is that simple. Now, here is a really interesting statutory quirk you've got to watch out for: the waiting week. Under Nebraska state law, you will actually not get paid for your first eligible week. It's essentially an unpaid waiting period. But, and this is a huge but, you absolutely must file a weekly certification for it anyway. If you skip filing for this unpaid week, the system literally cannot process it, and it's going to delay all your future payments. Since initial claims can take up to 21 days to process, you just have to keep filing those weekly claims the whole time so you eventually get your backdated lump sum once you're approved. Moving right along to Section 2, the weekly certification process. Let's look at our action-oriented playbook and take a guided tour of the portal. Your home base for this whole shebang is the state portal. You'll just need to pull up neworks.nebraska.gov and sign in using your established user ID and password. That simple step kicks off your legal check-in process for the week. The digital workflow here is actually super structured. Once you're on your main dashboard, just look to the left-hand menu. Under Services for Individuals, you're going to click Unemployment Services. From there, just select the very first option, File a Weekly Claim for Benefits. Literally 3 clicks and you're in. Okay, next up, the system is going to present you with some important disclosures. You'll read a quick explanation of the process, and then you'll hit a Know the Rules screen. This lays out the very serious consequences of things like overpayments and fraud. You've got to check an acknowledgement box here. You'll also be asked to review your contact info. Make absolutely sure your address is completely up to date. This is vital so you don't miss important mail down the line, like your tax documents at the end of the year. Finally, you'll carefully answer a series of eligibility questions about your week. Things like, did you work? Were you available? How many jobs did you apply for? Once you answer those, you'll check a legal attestation box at the very bottom. Keep in mind, you are certifying under penalty of perjury that your answers are completely truthful. Hit submit, wait for that confirmation screen, and boom, you are done for the week. Section 3. Maintaining your benefits. So now that you know exactly how to physically file the claim, we really need to talk about Nebraska's specific active work search requirements. The absolutely crucial point here is this number, 5. Nebraska mandates exactly 5 reemployment activities each and every certified week. Not 3, not 4, 5. If you miss that mark, your benefits for that week are seriously in jeopardy. And there's a strict rule within those 5 activities you've got to know about. Out of the 5, at least 2 of them absolutely must be direct applications for what the state calls suitable work. Suitable work basically means a job that aligns with your prior training, your professional experience, and your past wages. Now, the other 3 activities, those can be things like attending job fairs, calling employers, or meeting with a career counselor, but you must, for sure, have those 2 suitable job applications logged. Which brings us to Section 4, Common Issues and Solutions. Even with a flawless process, roadblocks happen, right? So let's troubleshoot some common pitfalls. Timing and reporting are where people tend to slip up the most. You have a very strict window to file, between Sunday at 12:01 a.m. and Friday at midnight for the previous week. Miss that Friday midnight deadline, and your request is considered late, which means your benefits might just be outright denied. Another huge trap: side income. If you pick up a part-time shift, you've got to report those wages for the exact week you actually did the work. Do not wait for the week the employer finally hands you the paycheck. Otherwise, your wages won't be reported into the UI system and you'll be considered late, which means your benefits might just be outright denied. And please be extremely careful here. If you're offered a suitable job or you get a referral from a Nebraska Department of Labor Career Center and you refuse it without a highly valid reason, you can face a severe 12-week disqualification penalty. I mean, this isn't just a slap on the wrist. We're literally talking about 3 months without your financial safety net, plus a potential reduction in your overall maximum payable benefits.
Okay, last but not least, Section 5, FAQs and additional help.
Let's cover how to stay totally organized and maximize your benefit security. Here is my absolute top actionable tip for you. Keep a dedicated unemployment folder. This can be a folder on your computer desktop or just a physical notebook, but every single week, write down your confirmation number. Keep a detailed log of the exact names, dates, and contact methods for the jobs you applied for, along with records of any part-time hours you worked. If the Department of Labor ever decides to audit your claim, having this organized folder will save you a massive amount of stress and basically prove your eligibility instantly. If you do hit a technical snag, say you lock yourself out of the portal, or you just have a highly specific question about your individual claim, don't guess. Call the Nebraska Claims Center directly at 402-458-2500 and talk to a claims specialist. They're there to help. You can also hop over to dol.nebraska.gov for some great step-by-step PDF instructions and frequently asked questions. Real quick, just a very important disclaimer before we wrap up. Please remember that while this explainer aims to be highly accurate and give you a powerful overview based on the state's official guidelines, you should always consult the Nebraska Department of Labor or a qualified legal advisor for advice tailored to your specific unique employment circumstances. Policies can shift and your individual job history really does matter. Navigating unemployment is really just a bridge between chapters in your career, and being informed makes that bridge a whole lot sturdier. So, what is the biggest hurdle you face so far in your job search or dealing with the state portal? Let's foster a real community of support here. Share your experiences or drop your questions in the comments below. And hey, if you found this explainer helpful and clarifying, please like, subscribe, and share it with anyone who might need a helping hand right now. Keep pushing forward, guys, and we'll see you in the next explainer.